disease, period. Inflammation is disease. Now, you need to have some inflammation. So I'm saying that, with a little bit of a caveat there. But the disease process is part and parcel of the inflammatory process running amok. And the reason we degenerate instead of regenerate is because inflammation gets in the way. Inflammation is heat, inflammation is swelling, inflammation is clogging. And the major players in inflammation are the essential fatty acids. And that means taking them, and that means helping your body process them. That's why we talked about bile. That's why we talked about the liver. That's why we talk about the intestine. And bile is super duper important for all of the, it's important for a lot of reasons. It clears out poisons, clears out hormones, clears out drugs, clears out heavy metals, and it helps you digest your food, and it sets the way, prepares the way for pancreatic enzymes, and it's important for, at least in terms of what we're talking about here today, it's important for helping the body extract EFAs from foods. Ultimate enzymes also important. The ultimate enzymes, by the way, contain bile. Ultimate enzymes are important on their own. Lipase, L-I-P-A-S-E, is important for helping the body process fats, but also the bile salts. You can always take extra bile salts. Use bitter veggies. There's a couple of amino acids that the body uses to help make bile, taurine and glycine. And taurine you're going to have to supplement with. It's not really found in a lot of foods. 100 milligrams, 200 milligrams of taurine if you have gallbladder issues or if you want to just have better fat absorption. Glycine, that's your bone soup. Glycine is found in cartilage. Glycine is a super underappreciated amino acid. It's the smallest amino acid, and it is unbelievably medicinal. It's like a little tiny nugget amino acid. And I'll tell you, theoretically, it's not an essential amino acid, but I've talked to people who test blood all the time, and they say glycine deficiency is very common. And it's unfortunate because glycine is a fundamental building block and easy to get from cartilage and from high-protein foods, beans and eggs, etc. Lecithin can also help you, and I'm going to spend some time talking about lecithin. Man, that is unreal when it comes to helping the body process fats. And lecithin is a component of bile. By the way, there's a relationship between bile and the microbiome. The microbiome is the bacteria. All those gut bacteria. We're hearing this every day. No lie. Every day I read another study about how important, how fundamental gut bacteria are. And they are. And I'm going to tell you right now, the gut bacteria is the core of the digestive system. So all disease begins in the gut, period. All degenerative disease begins in the gut. But all gut disease begins in the microbiome. So the microbiome is the core of where the disease process begins. And it makes sense when you think about it. Number one, given all the things that the microbiome does, that the bacteria do, from making vitamins to supporting the immune system to detoxification. But also when you add in the fact that most of us are taking antibiotics or drinking antibiotic-laden beverages and water or eating antibiotic-laden food. Of course we're going to have gut problems. You can't not. All right, I'm Pharmacist Ben. We're coming back with your phone calls right after this on The Bright Side. Don't go away. Okay, we're back on The Bright Side. We'll get your calls here just a sec. 844-236-6010. If you're built thin, if you're lean and mean, that's a good thing, but that's when you're going to have higher risks of thinning of the body as you get older. And it's the body types that are lean body types that tend to have the problems with thinning skin and osteoporosis and even circulatory problems as well. The estrogenic body type, that's the body type that's round and buxom and thick hair and, you guys know what I'm talking about, curvy. That body type is going to be at lower risk because estrogen is a thickening substance. Estrogen is a growth substance. The more estrogen you're carrying, the more body fat you'll have. Estrogen and body fat go together, and you'll be at lower risk for these kinds of health issues. But if you're built lean, that's a good thing, but you have to take extra care with your fats. And by the way, osteoporosis is not a disease. It's gotten called a disease and we medicate it. It's a sign of deterioration, of degeneration. Nothing more, nothing less. And it's none of the drug companies' business. And by the way, there's a reason why anti-osteoporotic drugs that you hear advertised on TV by movie stars, I don't know how they live with themselves, are among the deadliest and toxic of all medication. They're called the bisphosphonates. And they are awful, Awful, awful drugs. I mean, really bad. They can actually kill your bone, your jawbone. There's a horrible jawbone disease that occurs with some of these drugs. Anyway. All right. A couple more things I want to say. You guys hear about Frankenfish? Frankenfish was a movie that came out, I think, maybe 10 years ago. But now it's actually a food. It's a genetically engineered salmon that the FDA has approved. You got food now that has to get approved because it's not even food. And here's the best part. It's not going to be labeled. They don't want you to know when the fish is Frankenfish. Now, I'm not... Genetic modifications, I don't want to get off on that, but the idea that we can't be told what kind of food, what our food is about, that doesn't seem right. Does it seem right to anybody out there? That it should be hidden? What's the secret? Nobody will buy it, probably, is the secret. And oh, by the way, you can expect to see the same thing with meat here in probably less than 5 years. Test tube meat. You're going to see fake meat, vegetarian-friendly meat, because it ain't meat. It's synthetic. Yes, synthetic meat. Can you imagine this? I don't know how the heck they're going to make that stuff taste good, but that's what's on the way. And I'm probably less than 5 years, probably 3 years or so, you'll start to see the first ones, and it'll have some fancy, have some cool name. The fish, by the way, is going to be called. What the heck is it going to be called? It has I forgot what it's called. Advantafish or something, or Aqua Advantage salmon. So I have these cool names. Anyway. 844-236-6010. Let's go to June in Pennsylvania. What's up? Welcome to the Bright Side, June.
Good morning, Dr. Ben.
What's cooking? Pharmacist Ben, though.
I called you a couple of weeks ago, and we didn't have a chance to talk, so you asked me to call back.
Okay.
I'm dealing with hypertension, bloating, and gas.
Okay.
I start my day with alkaline water. I'm a vegetarian. I walk 3 to 4 times a week.
Don't tell me the good stuff unless you want a brownie point, because that's not going to help. That's not going to help.
I don't do
Tell me the bad stuff. I got to fix you.
Okay. I don't do any drugs, but yet my blood pressure runs high all the time.
Okay, good. Easy to take care of. You sound like you got a lot of life force there, June, so we're going to get you taken care of, and you've got some good habits, so this should not be difficult. First of all, high blood pressure is a sign that the body's in distress. The blood pressure is the blood flow and blood pressure are tightly regulated. They have to be just so. The pressure has to be just so, and the routing of the blood has to be just so. It's an incredibly complex system, and that's why you can't drug yourself back into normal hypertension or into health with an antihypertensive. You can lower your blood pressure, but you can't get healthy. So we got to figure out, why is the body thinking? What's the emergency? Well, you answered your own question partially. Chronic entrance of toxicity into the blood is an emergency. So the first thing you want to do is you want to eliminate the toxicity. The bloating tells me something's not getting processed in the intestine, and if you're probably, 40s or 50s at least, right?
68.
Okay, so you've been doing it, whatever you've been doing a while. Your body's been in this emergency mode of operation for a long time. So if you can fast, that would be awesome. What will happen if you can fast for 2 days, when you start eating again, you're going to notice which foods are causing what more clearly. You follow me? You're going to resensitize your perception. You're going to become more attuned to what's happening in the body. The body dumbs things down, or it turns the volume down on symptomology. And when you take a couple days off from food and you start eating again, boom, you're going to say, oh my God, that caused that. You follow me? It'll be easier for you to make that link. Okay, good. That's important. That's the number one most important thing to do, actually. Second thing you want to do is you want to start using good bacteria. Bloating means gas. Gas is produced by what? Gas cells? No. What do you think produces gas?
Food.
Nah. Food initiates it, but what literally produces the gas?
Indigestion?
No.
Digestion?
No. Okay, I'll tell you. Bacteria.
Okay.
Yes, bacteria produce gas. It's a byproduct of bacteria. So if you have gas, you got a bacteria problem. Follow me? I mean, we talk about bacteria all the time, but we just don't. It's something about it. It just doesn't quite we can't get a grasp on it. But if you start to hear all the ways the bacteria are involved in our ill health, it makes perfect sense. You got bacteria; they're eating the food you're eating, same food. They're eating, and they're producing good stuff or bad stuff. If they're producing bad stuff, you're going to feel bloated. It's gas, and that can cause heartburn too. By the way, the gas can push upward, and it can cause heartburn. Get yourself on the BioLumin Nightly Essence. Start using prebiotic fiber. Grind up flax seeds in the morning and use flaxseed fiber. Start off slowly, though, because you may have get really gassy when you start doing it if you do too much. So start off slowly with flax seeds, grind them up in the morning, put them in with a little goat yogurt maybe, or even just in water. Sometimes will just put water and flax seeds, ground up flax seeds, and drink it down, and it's delicious. Okay. And then also there's lots more. What's that? Nightly Essence. It's called Nightly Essence. Call Longevity and tell them you want the Nightly Essence. Okay? The Fucoid Z, Ultimate Enzymes After Meals, apple cider vinegar. You see how we're focusing. I'm not going to repeat myself over and over again. I'm sure people have heard this a million times, but it's the digestive protocol, basically. Then hypertension and blood sugar issues go hand in hand. And again, if you're living the standard American diet, if you're using the standard American diet, it's impossible not to have dysglycemia, messed up blood sugar at the age of 68. It's not possible. Everybody does. It's just how we live. So start to focus on sugar. It's a major circulatory system emergency. High levels of sugar in the blood, and that's what happens as our sugar control breaks down over time. Restricting your intake of sugar, using chromium and vanadium, the Sweet Ease, making sure you're using the Healthy Start Pack and your electrical nutrients. And then the last thing, and the quickest way to lower your blood pressure, you can do this in 2 minutes, okay, is deep breathing, slow deep breathing, and also hot water, hot baths, hot tubs. Sit in a hot tub, sit in a bathtub.
Okay.
That'll lower your blood pressure better than any antihypertensive. How do you like that?
Okay, yeah.
Okay? All right, you got lots of stuff there. Thanks for your call, June. I love that idea. Thank you so much. I love that idea that a hot bath can lower your blood pressure faster than any antihypertensive and with no toxicity. It's like, why don't we have hot bath insurance, hot tub insurance? Why do we have to have drug insurance? Why don't we have hot tub insurance where every American gets guaranteed a hot tub on the government, on us? Now that, I wouldn't mind spending my tax dollars on that. All right, 844-236-6010. Got lines open for you. We'll be back right after this on The Bright Side. Don't go away. Okay, we are back on The Bright Side. Let's go to Leo. What's up, Leo? Long time no talk to, buddy. Leo in Oregon. Leo?
Yes, sorry, Ben. I had the phone on mute. Yeah, it's a good show, Ben. It's good to be back on.
Thank you. I appreciate that. What's going on, man? Are you still doing your show? Are you still doing yours?
I know.
Are you still doing? Why don't you give your show a plug?
Okay, it's worldgonecrazyradio.com. And actually, let's see, what would be pertinent? Oh, yeah, I have a little vaccine tab. It's a vaccine page. And I have some current event news for the vaccines. And I also have a really good exemption letter, a sample exemption letter, which I've used for my own family.
Awesome.
And my ex posted it on Facebook, and she said she had like 60 requests of people that wanted to get so I ended up putting it on my website. So
one more time on the website.
The website is worldgonecrazyradio.com.
Worldgonecrazyradio.com. You can't shorten that at all? World Gone Crazy Radio. That's all right. Worldgonecrazyradio.com.
Well, I can't run out of topics, right?
Yeah, and it's a great name too, because the world seems like it's going crazy. I'm thinking it's some kind of cleansing that's taking place. I don't want to. I'm trying to take a positive viewpoint. Maybe we'll finally.
I'm going to give you some positive feedback on the Frankenfish that you were talking about.
Yeah.
I don't think, I think that the industry, the GMO industry, is going to try to keep going that route, but I think they're going to implode. And here at my local supermarket, I just see the organic food section continue to expand and expand. And and I'll give you another example. I was shopping for the rotisserie chickens, and
Right.
Open Nature puts out a rotisserie chicken where the chicken has not been given any antibiotics, no hormones.
Okay. It seems like there's some positive stuff happening, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah. You know what? Things will get so bad that we'll finally take responsibility and start to demand things, start to eat better, start to participate. I think the doctor model is going to become ancient history in not too long. Even though it seems like it's the opposite's occurring, there's some entrenchment of the medical model, I think it's going to force a lot of people to wake